You know the sound, that buzz, the notification. It's like a constant electronic tap on your shoulder, and it's always demanding your attention.
And then there's the drama. The breaking news headline, the endless scroll, the next wave of outrage that's just perfectly designed to hook you and keep you there.
On top of that, the deadlines. That report due by 5. The email that needed a reply like yesterday. It's this relentless pressure to produce, optimize, and just deliver.
All of this is what you could call digital time. It's a culture that has become completely, utterly obsessed with the immediate, with the now.
But what if we could step out of that chaos, just for a minute? What if there was a way to connect with something, I don't know, deeper? Something that stretches far beyond today's to-do list? Well, this explainer is about exactly that, a powerful ritual for sending a message to the future. The source material we're looking at argues that our whole relationship with time, all that focus on productivity and what's right in front of us, has kind of disconnected us from the long-term health of our planet. We're so busy managing the minutes that we're completely forgetting about the centuries.
And this comparison right here really gets to the heart of the problem. On one hand, you've got our default mindset, time management. It's all about today. But the challenges we're facing, they demand a massive shift to what you might call planetary stewardship. The question has to change from how can I be more efficient to how will this impact someone generations from now?
So, how do we even begin to make that shift? It feels huge, right? Well, the sources suggest a pretty simple grounding exercise to help us find some stillness and reconnect with a much slower, more natural rhythm. A way to feel what they call stone time.
The ritual itself is beautifully simple, just 3 steps. First, find a place in nature. It could be a park, a big rock, an old tree, whatever. Second, just sit there for 15 minutes. No phone, no distractions. And third, try to feel that deep, slow, geological pulse of the earth.
You can get there in really simple ways. Try standing barefoot, literally feeling the ground under you. Or place your hands on a tree and just feel its strength, its stability. The whole point is to focus on these physical feelings, to connect your body directly back to the planet.
As you're sitting there in that quiet, the source material poses this really powerful question. Now, the elephant here is a metaphor for those big, inconvenient truths of our time, the ones we usually ignore. When all the digital noise of our daily lives finally fades away, what deep insights, what urgent messages start to bubble up to the surface?
Okay, so once you've found that grounded perspective, it's time to channel it into action. This whole ritual isn't just about quiet thinking. It's about getting ready to communicate with a really profound intention.
And who are we writing to? Get this. A child. A child who will be born a century from now. All of a sudden, the future isn't some abstract concept anymore, is it? It has a face. It's a person who's going to inherit the world that we are shaping right now, in this very moment.
And this is the Deep Time Letter. The sources describe it as a ritual for writing to the future, forcing ourselves to filter the decisions we make today through the eyes of those who will live with all the consequences. It's a real, tangible way to practice intergenerational justice.
And here it is, the central prompt for your letter. And listen, this isn't about guilt or shame. It's a really direct, powerful invitation to think about the story you're currently writing with your life. What story of your actions do you actually want to be able to tell?
This letter then becomes a place to document something very specific, your uncommon choices. These are those moments where you consciously decide to take a different path, to swim against that powerful current of convenience.
So what exactly is an uncommon choice? Well, the sources define it as decoupling from the matrix. Basically, it's about making the harder, more human-focused choice for the collective we instead of just taking the easy, industrial path that's always laid out for us.
And here's what that can actually look like in practice. Maybe it's choosing to spend time recharging the soil in your garden, not just your phone, or making a real effort to repair things instead of automatically replacing them. It's a deep shift from just accumulating things for yourself to thinking about collective care, choosing to be a restorer and linking arms with other people to create a legacy of restoration.
And this brings us to the ultimate impact of all these choices. It really forces us to completely redefine what it even means to leave a legacy in this day and age.
Traditionally, right, we think of legacy as the story people tell about us, our memory.
But the sources here are arguing for a totally new, much more tangible definition: our planetary footprint. It's not just a story, it's the literal, physical state of the Earth we leave behind.
The big takeaway here is that our choices have real, lasting consequences. Our legacy is physically etched into the carbon levels in the atmosphere, into the health of our local watersheds, into the biodiversity that's in our own backyards. It's real.
And so we end with this final, incredibly provocative thought. This question really crystallizes the entire exercise. It's the ultimate filter for our actions. It shifts our focus from just living for the now to actually ensuring a livable future for all the things to come. So, what will your answer be?
We have built our world on a high-stakes assumption that our industrial momentum is as unsinkable as the steel hulls we once set into the Atlantic. But the elephant in the room has grown too large to ignore, moving out of our private shadows and into the center of our lives. This is the meta-crisis, the tipping point where the stories of endless growth collide with the physical limits of our planet. It reduces us to passengers, waiting like roadkill on the side of a life we no longer control, paralyzed by the headlines, watching for the next wave to break. Yet, when the ship finally cracks, the passenger's role ends, and the adventurer's begins. The very failure of the old world becomes a direct call to a planetary adventure. This is the invitation to step out of the heavy aura of the past and into the absolute power of the present moment. The Lifeboat Mini Course is your immediate, structured transition, a free 5-day journey delivered to your inbox to transform global anxiety into local resilience. As the unsinkable systems fracture, we must stop asking for permission and start acting as co-creators of the cosmos, mapping a new way forward through our own backyards. Day 1 begins with an audit of the invisible, the energy and water systems you rely on every hour, yet rarely ever see. Day 2 forces a change in your geographical lens, challenging you to locate your true home within your watershed and local bioregion. You won't navigate this terrain alone. You will receive daily study guides and synthesized patterns designed to cut through the noise and reveal the architecture of change. Day 3 asks you to practice active hope in a world facing ecological overshoot. Day 4 introduces the demanding standard of revolutionary love. By tracing the water back to your neighbor's tap, you move beyond the narrow walls of self-help and into the expansive, interconnected practice of systems health. The climax arrives on Day 5 with the introduction of a specific framework for your future, the 9x21 harvest. You will commit to 9 concrete actions to be executed over the next 9 days, weeks, or years to build your cosmic legacy. You will then write the 7-generation letter, speaking across time to a resident of your town in the year 2026 to explain the uncommon choices you made today. This legacy is a unified dance, a work of restoration that cannot be built in isolation. Who is your mutual guiding spirit in this transition, and which 9 things will you choose to do? Stop waiting for the headlines to crush you. Sign up for the Lifeboat Mini Course now. Access your Day 1 materials immediately and join the community hub where the next story of our world is already being written. You can remain tied to the illusion of a collapsing global credit card, or take this course to begin building real systems health today. The Earth is tired of the lie. It is time to dance with the truth.